Hey, we back. It's been a few days, but I now have internet again, and we are back with more bot videos. So, all of the bots that I currently make videos on are dead, and we are adding a new bot to the roster. Welcome, Tatsumaki, to the channel. Woo! Anyway, Tatsumaki is a great bot. I'm not going to detail with it now because it has a lot of features and we can potentially do more videos on it later. Let me know if you're interested. But the point of today is to do this. This is pretty useful right here. And a lot of people, not on my video specifically, because it hasn't been relevant until now, but Discord in general, don't know how to set these kind of things up. And they are incredibly useful. A lot of people do it manually, or a lot of people use bots that are not as efficient with it. Now, I'm not saying Tatsumaki is the most efficient. There are a lot of bots that can do this. For example, YagPDB is probably my favorite bot to set up this with. But if you are not sure what this is, it should be pretty obvious by reading it. Pick if you want any pings or whatever, it's roles is the point. And then the pointers I've written here, different emojis with different roles, and then people can react underneath and decide what role they want. And then personally on my server, I will ping that role when a certain announcement pops up. I've also got a bunch of pictures of Menhera here because Menhera is epic. So how do you make something like that? Well, like I said, you can do it with a lot of bots. Personally, I use Tatsumaki here because Tatsumaki was in the server anyway, and I think that it is more efficient to have one bot doing multiple things than to add YagPDB just for the purpose of this. But that's up to you. YagPDB is great, and like I say, a lot of bots can do this. How do you set it up though? Well, we are going to head over to the Tatsumaki website. Which is, as it says here, tatsu.gg. I'm on /home, but yes. And you should be able to find this just by Googling it. We're going to go to servers, and I'm going to click on Steve's waifu machine, and then I'm going to go into modules. So we have a bunch of things here. Again, Tatsumaki, complicated bot, a lot of stuff on it. But I'm going to go to reaction self roles. And we have here reaction roles. This is what we are doing today, reaction roles. Reaction roles are great. Basically, giving roles to members is important, but doing it manually on a large server is annoying, so we get the bot to do it for you. So, how do we do this? I am going to start by demonstrating, and we're going to set up a new reaction role message. I'm going to make it pretty much the same as the one that I have on my server. But we're going to make it somewhere new just so that it doesn't get in the way. So I'm going to add a new channel on here. We're going to make it private channel for the sake of it. I'm going to call it test. Whoopee, who do I want to access it? Bots can access it. That sounds good. So it's just me and the bots in here. Right, so now, website, set up reaction role message. We're going to generate a new message. We can add roles to an existing message if we want. Probably you can use that to do on your own message if you don't want the bot to send it. I'm actually not sure about that. But we're going to make a new message because it is normally easier. They get the nice embeds, which is cool. So we have please select a channel here. So let's scroll down and find test. There it is. Test. Cool. Next. And we have this very nice interface right here. So this is the message that it's going to generate. At the moment is empty, and then this is where you can edit the message. So we can add all the stuff in here. This is a message. As you can see, this is generated over here. No, this is not in Discord, so this is not an actual thing that's being written right now. This is just to show what's going to happen. But what you probably want to use is the embed. The embed is the bit that looks nice. So let's add an embed. This is a title. If I can spell. There we go. It's shoved that at the top of the embed. And we can put a link here if we want as well. Link to some image or something. I'm not going to bother with that. I normally don't bother with the links. We have the description. So let's just do like what we did with the others. This is the description. That's not, I said a thing that I didn't write. This is a description, there we go. We also have author, which will go up to the top. And as you can see with my one on my server, we have here the title, the description, the author, right? Now, one thing to note is that I have an emoji here in my one. How do you get the emoji in there? Well, first of all, it has to be an emoji that Tatsu is in the server of. In fact, preferably in the server that you're sending the message. So this shrug, for example, is from my server. But how do we put it in here? Well, I'm going to go up to here for a second, and we're going to grab it. I can send the emote in question here. You can see this is the one, shrug from Steve's waifu machine. Obviously, if you do not have Nitro, you'll have to do this in the same server, but I'm going to send it here. And what you do is you put the backslash before it. Right, you can see it's no longer actually showing the emote, it's just showing the shrug, and it has the backslash which has been grayed out because that's not going to show. We send that, and it is going to give us this thing. Now, it's auto-corrected this to the default shrug emote, but ignore that. It's the code that we're looking for. So we can copy and paste this here, and then I'm going to go and put that in the description. Right, now this looks kind of weird, and on here it's not rendered properly because, like I said, this is not Discord, so it doesn't know what this emote is. But do not worry, once it gets put into Discord, it's gonna figure it out, and we get our nice emote in there. Alright, now we can also have our author icon links. So let's grab a random image. Here's this enterprise image that happens to be here. Let's grab that one, and I can put that in the author icon link, and you see we now get the image there. It's kind of small, so you can't really see it, but it's fine. We also have thumbnail link, which goes there, and image link, which goes there. This is the enterprise roles, apparently. Fantastic. We also have footer text, which goes down there, and footer icon, which goes next to it. So we have all of the images all over the place. We can also change the embed color. It has a nice little hex color picker here, so we can pick whatever color we want, and as you can see, this is this. If you use Made, you're probably very familiar with this feature because we have embed color on Made, which will change the embed color right there, right? So you should be familiar with this. However, now we need to add the actual roles. So we're going to press this add new field button. It's going to complain that it doesn't have a title, and after that it'll complain it doesn't have content, but forget that for now. We can remove the field if we want. We can move it in line. I'll show you what that does in a minute. So we're going to call this role 1. If it's going to let me type, it's actually not. Every time I type a letter, it's stopping me from... there we go, it's all done now. Roll 1, and you see if we make it inline, it actually doesn't make a difference at the moment. Probably we're going to have more than one field. There you go. We'll test that one in a minute. And then we have the content. So as you can see, once again, on my example one, on my server, we have the title and then the content. So I make the content the emote that you're going to use. You can do whatever you want, but let's do that for the purpose of this. So in my little test one, let's pick an emote. And pick an emote from my server. Which one should we have for our role? Let's have canon nom, and this can be for the nom role, right? Sure. So we've got our canon nom there because canon nom is not a default emote. It didn't copy that. And then we're just going to paste that into the content. Once again, it's not going to render properly, but ignore that one for now. We'll add a second role as well. Now, I don't know why it always deselects the menu after I type something, but oh well. And then the field content here, let's find another emote, shall we? Go down to my server, we can pick the Pikachu role. Again, we're going to put the little backslash before it. We're going to grab the code and we're going to shove it into field content, and it's not going to render. This will do for our example, I think. I think this is good enough. So let's save here. And it is now going to be put in test. So let's head over to test, and we can in fact see it has been put in. We've got this is a message here. My roles one here doesn't have a message because I don't think it's really necessary, but you can put one if you want. And then we've got our author, title, description, all our lovely pictures, and our couple of roles. But currently it's not doing anything. It's just sitting here, it's just a message. So we have to actually set it up with some roles, right? So we have our manage roles button here, and we have to select a role. And of course, first I have to actually make the roles. So let's for a second now go into roles on my server, and let's make a nom role, and then a new role. Let's also have the Pikachu role. There we go. So we've got Nom and we've got Pikachu there at the bottom. Obviously, you can sort out your role perms and your positions and colors and whatever. I'm sure you know how to do that. But we now have our two roles, so I'm going to go up into here and it should find them. They're probably not in order. Maybe it's because I just opened it, just created the roles, I mean. So let's refresh the page. Okay, so now we can go into here and we can find our couple of roles. We have Nom. We're going to pick an emoji. Now, again, this has to be an emoji from your server. So let's go find that Nom. There it is. Nom, add reaction role. Okay, now let's add our Pikachu. There we go. We'll pick the Pikachu emote. Where's that one? There's the Pikachu emote. Add reaction role. We've got @Nom and @Pikachu, and I'm going to press save. Now, if we go back into Discord, you can see it's added a couple of reactions here. Right, now just to confirm, I only just made these two roles. I do not have these two roles, but if I click on one of these buttons, I now have the Nom role, and if I click on Pikachu, I now have the Pikachu role. If you click again, it should get rid of it, and the same applies to that one. Fantastic. So you've got it working. That was pretty easy to set up. One of the things I like about the Tatsu auto roles is that it is very easy to set up. You've got the nice visualization thing, so you know what it's going to look like, and it's quite easy to go back and edit it later, because if I want to go back into here and say, okay, I want another role, I can just add it here, pick another emoji, and off we go. Editing the message is a little obnoxious. If you have a look, we go into here, it will blank all of this stuff out, except for the actual message, which is really annoying. You do have to edit all of that in again, so I'm sorry about that. As far as I know, there is no workaround for that problem there. I don't know what to say, I'm afraid. That's just how it works, but it's not too difficult to write it out again if you want to update it, and if all you're trying to do is update the roles, it is pretty quick. Some things that it can't do that maybe something better like YagPDB can is it can't enforce, for example, on here, a user only has Nom or Pikachu. With the Tatsu one, they can pick both if they want, whereas with YagPDB, you can force them to only have one role. So, for example, if you're trying to get someone to pick a color for their name, right, you can have different colors here, and you can say, look, you're only allowed one color, pick one. And YagPDB can do that, Tatsumaki can't. So there's advantages and disadvantages to all of these bots. And if you are unsure of which one to use, I will potentially do more videos on other bots in the future. Alternatively, just Google it, have a look around. I would advise using YagPD or Tatsumaki. I believe even Me6 can do it these days. So yeah, there's plenty of options for you. But for now, I will leave this one here. Bye!